Hey guys, it's Hillary here, or as a lot of you know me as Princess21 on Deviantart. Now, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a scary ouchie gougie thing. It's super simple. I'll take you through the steps, explain how for you to make it your best, and I hope you enjoy. So, I still haven't gotten any liquid latex because I have to rather wait till Halloween or order it offline. And I haven't really looked into ordering it offline yet because I've been procrastinating it, which is really bad. So I'll probably do that sometime this week. I hope. So today I will be using regular Elmer's school glue. Really simple. Really simple. So what I do is simply use a regular old paintbrush. It doesn't really matter on the size. I use this. It's not too big, not too small. But this one I didn't really wash out too good last time I used it, and it's kind of gluey and not cool. So I'm going to use this one instead, which is just like the tiniest bit smaller, and it won't really impact it much. So what you can do is take your school glue, and you can take the lid off, or you can leave the lid on, and you could just open it and, like, say you're doing an arm wound like I'm going to do today, you'd simply put it on like that and spread it around with your brush. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lid off and take my paintbrush and put it inside. And it's quite yucky. So I'm just going to be making a general scratch, pretty much gouge for you guys, just so you can see the simpleness of it. So I'm gonna take this and spread it all around my arm where I want the wound. And I'm going to put it on pretty thinly, or else it'll take hours to dry. But I'm not going to put it on too thinly, or else you'll have to put on millions and millions of coats. So it should look something like that, if you can see it properly. Alright, so now it's pretty well dry, and I'm going to add a second coat. It's gonna be just like the first coat. You can see that it's mostly dry. It's a little bit still white, but I just got glue everywhere. Anyway, it's mostly dry, a little bit still white, so just put it on top. Try not to spill glue all over your desk like I just did. And you can apply it a little bit thicker right here in the middle of your wound. But if you just apply it thin everywhere, then that's fine too. You know what, these first few things, doesn't matter much what you do as long as it dries properly and you don't leave it a little bit wet, because if you do that, then you risk making the wound like why can't I think of the word? Oh man. Darn it! You'll make the wound like when you're putting the tissue on, it could like move around a lot because your base coats aren't very stationary properly. Alright, so while you're putting on the second coat, I'm going to tell you to put on the second coat a little bit farther. Like say your first coat ended around here. I'm going to tell you to go a little bit farther with your second coat, just so it doesn't look like it abruptly stops and it blends into your skin a little better. If I'm making any sense at all, which I hope I am, because it makes sense to me. I've been doing this for a while though. So I've got my second coat all done up, and I'll wait for that to dry. So while that's drying, I'll show you how to prepare your tissue. So I have a regular old tissue to like blow your nose or whatever. You can use toilet paper too, but I like to use tissue. So right after you take the tissue box, take it out of the tissue box, it's just like this. And you can use it like this, but I prefer to rip it in half like this, and then you have the two halves of the tissue, the two layers, and I just use one. And now I have three because I already had one, but I had to show you guys. So you can rip it with your hands, but I find it much easier to use scissors. So just cut strips as long as you need them. Longer is usually better because you can cut them while you're putting them on, or make them as thick as you want to, depending on how much you want the skin to be rolled up beside the gouge. I'll show you what I mean later. So I got my two strips. I just folded it in half and cut them. I have my strips. So if you didn't want it to come off of your skin very much, then you could just take this and put it on and crumple it up like a little bit. If you need me to do another tutorial, another video tutorial doing it that way, then that is no problem. Just ask.